The Magnitsky Act freezes the assets and bans the visas of the people who killed Sergei and the people who commit similar human rights abuses in Russia and around the world. And Vladimir Putin has taken huge offense to this legislation, and he has basically gone after me with Interpol arrest warrants, with extradition requests, with death threats, and all sorts of other things, because he values money more than human life, and I put his money at risk.
Mm. And you've been critical to Sweden. What happened when you tried to get Sweden to take action?
Well, it was interesting. I've been working on a lot of countries to pass the Magnitsky Act, and I traveled to Sweden. I met with the people in the foreign ministry, and they practically threw me out of their office. It was such in their minds, an offensive thing to suggest that corrupt and human rights violators from Russia should be sanctioned. And I would say that it was a rude response from the Swedish government whenever I tried to bring this up.
But several other countries have adopted Magnitsky rules. Why do you think Sweden acted like they did?
I think that Sweden was playing a double game where, on one hand, trying to be seeming like caring about human rights, and on the other hand, the government wanted to do business with Russia. That's the only thing that I can imagine justifies this type of behavior.
If we look at the bigger picture, the EU has imposed sanctions, but it's still buying gas from Russia. Do you think that the EU will be able to agree on more sanctions?
I hope so. We're facing a true existential threat right now. Vladimir Putin is not going to stop with Ukraine. If he succeeds in Ukraine, then he'll eventually be at the Baltics. And if he's at the Baltics, he'll eventually be at Sweden. Sweden is not a member of NATO, and Sweden is in a very vulnerable position. We should be doing everything possible right now to sanction oligarchs and to do whatever is necessary.
What do you think is the most effective way to stop Putin right now?
The major thing that we can do right now is to prevent him from paying for this war. And to prevent him from paying for this war, we need to cut off all sources of financing. And that means freezing the central bank's reserves, which has already been done, freezing the oligarch capital, which Putin has access to, which is starting but hasn't been fully done. And as you mentioned before, we need to stop buying Russian oil and gas. And
Putin's money, where is it?
Putin doesn't hold any money in his own name. The money is held in the name of oligarchs he trusts. And those oligarchs don't hold that money in Russia, they hold it in the West. And effectively, that is Putin's Achilles heel. If you sanction the oligarchs, you're sanctioning Putin.
A final question, Mr. Browder. When do you think the war in Ukraine will end?
Well, I wish the answer was soon, but knowing Vladimir Putin and knowing how he deals with conflict, I think this war is going to go on for a very long time. And Vladimir Putin is a man who can never give up. He doesn't have a reverse gear. He can't show that he's made a mistake. He can't show weakness. And so I'm afraid to say that this war is going to carry on for a long time, and we're going to see many more horrible things before things finally end one way or another.
Bill Browder, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.